All right, welcome back to the Binary Sunset Podcast, episode 24. Woo!
24.
How you doing, Zach?
Doing fine. A little bit tired, but hanging in there.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm still pretty sweaty from I rushed here to record this for my softball game.
I feel like
across town.
I feel like all of America is just under a heat wave right now.
Oh yeah, big time. It is really hot.
It's hot.
Our AC wasn't working for like a solid week.
Wow.
We have like central heating and cooling, whatever.
Yeah.
And I had to use one of those window boxes that make me so nervous that I'm just gonna what's the show Fargo, accidentally pull a Fargo
Yeah.
and just drop it on somebody. But anyway, besides that,
It's as hot as Tatooine.
I've been watching
over
this.
Here. Sorry.
Oh yeah, couple suns.
Stupid. It's as hot as Jakku over here. All right, I'm done.
Oh yeah. Why does everyone want to go to Jakku?
Great question. I've been wondering.
I've also been watching this show. It's like a cartoon on Disney Plus. It's called The Bad Bitch.
The Bad Bitch. The Bad Bitch.
I think it's pronounced. So what was it? Episode 6 that just came out?
Yes, it is episode
of The Bad Batch.
Of The Bad Batch. Decommissioned. That was the name.
Decommissioned, that's right.
Of the episode.
Quite the title.
I've caught on to something too. It seems to be a trend with these episodes, but I'll share it I'll share it after we sum up the episode.
Sure. And yeah, and obviously we'll do a little summary, but obviously there's the big question of who's at the end, which we'll get to once we talk about stuff. But yeah, go for it.
This summer is going to be pretty short and simple.
Yeah.
Basically, Bad Batch are still on that planet that they were last on with Omega. They're trying to train Omega to be a better fighter, concentrate, and then Sid forcefully kind of asks them, and it's more of a force too, not like using the force, but she like just tells them, "You're working for me," over and over again.
Yeah.
So I guess when you say that to some people, they just agree with it. But anyway,
if they don't, she like mildly threatens like telling the Empire where they are, I guess, if they don't work for her.
Good soldiers follow orders.
Exactly.
And yeah, basically she sends them to Corellia, where, as many of you know, Solo, a Star Wars story, starts out, and that's where Han Solo's from originally.
Damn straight.
That's the planet he escapes from in the beginning. But the Bad Batch are sent there to recover. It's like a general droid. I forgot what it was called, but it's like a droid.
Tactical droid.
Yeah, tactical droid. And the thing special about this is that the tactical droid learns, it just has this knowledge, ever so large knowledge of battles. So it's
and
very
just
valuable.
clone. It knows how to fight clones pretty well.
Yeah, it knows how to fight clones. So they go to Corellia they go into this not droid factory, but they're decommissioning droids by basically just melting them all together.
Hence the title.
Decommissioned. Yes, decommissioned. And yeah, Omega and Bad Batch sneak in, and then they find out they're in competition with two other thieves that are also trying to get this droid's head, and that's Rafa and Trace.
Yep. And I know you don't. I know you don't know who they are.
Yes, I don't.
But they are. They had a 4-episode arc, or no, a 3-episode arc. I can't remember. In season 7 of the Clone Wars.
That okay. I actually knew that. I was assuming they really look familiar. I have not seen it, but I've seen I've heard about them before.
The Martez sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, the majority of this episode, it's very quick. It's just them fighting together, fighting against each other, and then joining forces to try to bust out. And eventually, what happens is they are able to get the droid, the tactical droid, and command it to then command what's left of the droid army inside this facility to attack I guess the people that own or operate the facility, because
I think it's the Empire.
Shooting. Yeah, the Empire. They use them to fight the Empire. And then also while this is happening, what's interesting is that Wrecker gets all banged up, and he keeps on repeating, "Good soldiers follow orders."
Yeah, he gets knocked in the head pretty hard, and I think it probably like loosened something, or maybe like.
And he's been saying, hasn't he been saying this for a few?
He's been complaining of like a headache, but I think it needed a good I think he needed a good hit in the head for the chip to start activating.
Yeah, he's been complaining about the entire series about having a headache.
My head hurts.
Now we know why. I mean, in the end, everybody breaks out. The tactical droid is actually destroyed when everybody's running away. But then it turns out that Tech basically had a jump drive.
Yeah, he had like a thumb drive, yeah.
A thumb drive, and copied all the information, and they actually ended up giving it to both Trace,
the Martez sisters is easier to.
Yeah, the Martez sisters, sure.
After they said like they're, we need this for, you don't know why you're giving this to whoever you're giving this to, but we have a reason. We were trying to help people, so he's like, all right, fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The rebellion.
Yeah.
So, and then that's kind of the end. But then also, it turns out we follow the Martez sisters onto their ship, and then they're talking to somebody.
They're talking to a mystery person. And by the way, the droid that's the droid that is projecting the hologram is Ahsoka's droid R7.
Oh, okay. So R7 is actually operating the Cortez sisters ship.
Yep.
And that's how they get away.
And they know Ahsoka. She was a part of their arc in the Clone Wars season 7.
Sure.
Sure. But yeah. So all in all, I really liked this episode. It had a lot of dimension to it, to where I didn't realize it like watching it, but like upon like thinking about it, and also just like listening to other podcasts and like what other people are saying about it.
Yeah.
There's a lot that I didn't think about, like kind of like not necessarily Easter eggy, but just like under the surface, like what's actually going on here. Like, and I don't know if you want to talk about anything else before we just kind of get into it, but
I can go over. So there's something I've realized, and it's a trend, and it's basically every single episode so far has gotten shorter.
Yeah, man.
The length. But no. But like to a T.
Yeah.
So like Aftermath episode 1 was an hour and 14 minutes long. Cut and Run was 30 minutes and 13 seconds.
Okay.
Number 3, Replacements, was 27 minutes and 58 seconds. Then in episode 4, Cornered, was 25 minutes and 57 seconds. Rampage was 25 minutes and 21 seconds. And Decommissioned was 24 minutes and 22 seconds. So it's a trend.
Well, I wonder if maybe they're doing a thing where they're literally just like the last episode's just going to be like 5 minutes.
That'd be honestly hilarious. And honestly, that'd be cool.
That'd be kind of that's never been done before.
It'd be like a Samurai Jack, kind of like Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Not Clone Wars.
Make everybody wait a week for 5 fucking minutes of television.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, like along that line of thought, like there's these last like 5. By the way, we still haven't seen Crosshair in 3 episodes. But there's been a definite like drop off in like the vibe of the show since the first like couple episodes.
Yeah, I mean they're coming into their own, but yeah,
it's basically like it started out with like a bang. Like it was something I didn't really expect it to be, and now it's kind of just like falling into this like steady like monster of the week type stuff, which I'm fine with. But it's just like it feels like there's a definite shift in vibe. And which is I guess it's fine. Well, it's a 16 episode season, so they have to do.
It's turning. Stuff. What it's doing is it's starting them out as soldiers, and as each episode goes on, they become less and less soldiers and more of like civilians living in. And I mean, they're not like your average civilians, but they just become normal people living in this. In this galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
I kind of like that progression of like there's so much order when you're part of the Clone Wars, and then it goes into kind of chaos during
It's
the
like how
Empire.
do they, they've been following orders for years. How do they kind of
Yeah.
like do things on their own?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not like against it at all, but it's just definitely more just like Clone Wars now um in
Okay.
in its atmosphere. Like
Sure.
it when it first started out, it definitely felt like its own thing. Now it definitely feels like season 8 of Clone Wars. But yeah, I mean, I liked it. I liked this episode a lot. Um, it, I do want to see Crosshair, and I'm wondering when they're gonna like kind of pull it back to that kind of main storyline. But in the meantime, I really like Sid, the character. By the way,
I like Sid more. Yeah, I like Sid more. I mean,
she's cool.
Everything against her is not her fault. It's just I wish she spoke like
I know you. Yeah, you had your whole thing about the way that Trandoshan speak, but I like her character. I mean, here's the thing: is so I don't know if you know who it's voiced by, or she's voiced by, but it's
she sounds familiar.
Rhea Perlman. She played Carla in Cheers. And I didn't know that after the first episode. So
she's married to Danny DeVito too, isn't she?
I think they divorced recently.
Oh.
I can't remember if they're still together now. Yep. But yeah, they spent a long time together.
That makes sense. I like Cheers, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I was wondering, her voice sounded very familiar.
And she's working in a bar. It's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
that's funny.
That's kind of why I don't. Like I like hearing her voice. I don't really care as much because imagine Rhea Perlman trying to do that. They probably asked her to do it and she's like, "Fuck no, you're not paying me enough to do that." But yeah, I like Sid a lot. I like her. I like her dynamic with Omega. Basically like, just you're not strong, but you'll get there. Just practice.
I wonder, the big if is like, I mean, besides like the whole good soldiers follow orders every episode, we hear that. It seems like, I wonder like what's going to happen with her character, Sid's, because
I don't know.
She's not really a good guy, but she's not really a bad guy yet.
I think she's like a scoundrel with a heart of gold. Like, I think that if they said, the only reason why they're still working for her is because she's got like stuff to hold over them, like basically.
Yeah.
I know you're on the run. I know you're of value to the Empire. Either you work for me or, whatever. But I honestly, like if they ever did just leave her, I don't think she'd tell on them. Like she strikes me as somebody that has like a heart of gold, like where she wouldn't sell them out.
Interesting.
But yeah, because she's like forging connections. I mean, she's got nicknames for all of them now. Like was it Goggles for tech or something? But yeah, I like the dynamic she's got with the team. Yeah, I don't think she'd sell them out. But
it's very Mandalorian-esque.
Yeah,
where everybody's definitely neutral.
Definitely. Now, okay, there was something that so moving forward to the actual job that they did. So
yeah,
I didn't think about it at the time, but I was listening to there's a podcast I really like called Force Center, and I was literally just listening to it before we started recording here, and they brought up something that I didn't even think about. Is okay, so like all these droids are being decommissioned in Corellia. Where are the Star Destroyers being built? Are Star Destroyers literally made out of battle droids?
There, you got a point.
Like, holy shit. I didn't, like, that's something that seems so obvious, but, like,
the Empire
I didn't
recycles.
Make that connection.
Join the Empire today. We recycle.
Roger. What if all their computers still said Roger whenever they're like, fuck, how do we get rid of this? I think that's a really cool idea. Because, yeah, like, what happened? There's tons and tons of fucking scrap metal after the war. Like, what do they do with it?
Yeah.
Build Star Destroyers. It's pretty cool. And I wonder if George Lucas, like, that was like his plan all along, like to be like, well, yeah, they're gonna be like they're gonna be Star Destroyers one day. I feel like he definitely knew that in his mind, like in his head.
Okay.
He had that like.
All right.
So I like
that. Seems like a stretch, but who knows?
I think he's got that. He thinks forward like that, definitely.
I mean, I think he thinks forward, but okay. All right, I'm not going to argue about if George Lucas.
Yeah, you're gonna get canceled by the Star Wars community.
Recycling CIS battle droids.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was kind of cool. I didn't think about that. But yeah, so when they're at the place in Corellia, they run into the Martez sisters, and I just want to say, so like when the Clone Wars season came out, I liked Trace and her relationship with Ahsoka, but Rafa always, for some reason, got on my nerves. The way she just just her character really annoyed me. I don't know why. She was just a little grating sometimes, but
interesting.
In this, I liked her. I mean, like, you can definitely see. I think that kind of lends credence to like the character arc of the character. Like, yeah, like she's not a likable character before. Like, definitely not. Like, we're not supposed to, as an audience, like her. But she comes around to. She was always very self-serving in the in those Clone Wars episodes, and now she's very much like, oh, like I'm fighting. I assume she's a part of the rebellion, that she's fighting for something that's greater than her. So she's become more selfless in character and less self-serving, which is cool. I like that. Trace has always been cool, but yeah.
So I gotta ask, who do you think the person they were talking to at the end?
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry, a lot of dust in my nose from the field. So obviously, like, the looming question is, who was that? When I was watching,
it's Jar Jar.
It for sure.
100%.
Give me at the head.
Annie.
This is embarrassing.
that's one of my. I put that line in that reel that we made on Instagram.
It's embarrassing.
Anyway, so when I was watching, my mind immediately said Bail Organa. Leia's dad.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because he laid the groundwork for the rebellion. Him and Padme.
That makes
sense. And Mon Mothma. Moth Monma. Yeah, it's for sure him. In my opinion. I don't know who else it'd be.
It wouldn't be Saw Gerrera,
because like, I saw a cloak, right? I saw he was wearing like a shawl, not a shawl, almost like a poncho type. That's kind of like what Bail Organa wears. That my mind went right to him, and I usually stick with my gut feelings. I'm gonna put my chips on that one. It's Bail Organa, which is interesting because that means that Ahsoka's probably not far behind, and Rex is probably not far behind as well. Because another show that you need to watch is Rebels, which actually I didn't tell you, I'm actually rewatching recently. And I keep wanting to text you, like, dude, this show is good.
Has the animation gotten better?
This show is good. I watched it once when it was like first coming out. I hadn't rewatched it since. Watching it again, like, the first season of that show is great.
I don't know.
I really like it.
I haven't heard good things about it.
I mean, I've heard everything you've heard about it, and I agree with some of it.
Everything you've heard.
Well, no, because you've sent me plenty of videos that I've watched as well about, like, why Rebels isn't great, and I agree with a lot of what they say, but, like, on the whole, like, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. But anyway, we're not talking about Rebels. We're talking about Bad Batch. Basically, the only reason I brought that up is because in Rebels, like, Bail Organa is with Ahsoka, and since this isn't, like, far after Clone Wars Season 7, Rex is probably with her. So we're probably going to see Rex in this pretty soon. And I wonder if we're going to see the Martez sisters again. I don't know if this was just a one-off or not, but I kind of hope we do.
Probably.
But yeah, honestly, like, this episode, I feel like this could have been like, this episode and the previous one could have been like one big episode, because it's kind of just like a continuation of the story of the previous episode.
Yeah, it could have been like a heist.
Yeah.
Like more thought got into just like how they're gonna break into it, but they just kind of just sneak in.
Yeah.
But
I really liked the ending.
Honestly,
huh?
That's what I want to see. I want to see like the Bad Batch pulls off a heist.
Yeah, I mean, well, they kind of
Like
pull off
Sid.
mini heists every once in a while.
Yeah, but this is like I want some like deep thought going into it, and like each clone having to like basically use their specific skills to and together kind of pull off like I don't
Kind
know
of like
if it's
Inglorious
stealing something.
Bastards,
Yeah, basically, I just want Inglorious Bastards
where they make cheddar cheese or Swiss cheese out of the Emperor
yeah.
at his weird fish opera.
But then it turns out to be a clone emperor. So,
Well, they're all clones, I guess. Yeah. I really like the ending of this episode. It gave me a lot of Clone Wars nostalgic feels, seeing those clankers marching. Which is funny because it's not that far off from like season 7, but like it feels like it's such a far away, distant like past.
sure.
At this point, like wow, like there's such vestiges of the past now. It's weird, because we're in a completely different world now, in this galaxy. But I'm excited to where it's going to lead. But yeah, I think we pretty much I pretty much covered everything I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, me too. It's pretty straightforward episode.
Yeah.
Fun.
They have been recently pretty straightforward. Not too much.
Yep.
Not too much going on. But yeah, I'm excited to see who the mystery person is. If we're right about that. Oh, did you say who you thought it was?
I did not. I mean,
Did you have any gut feelings when you first watched it?
I had a gut feeling, but I knew it was wrong, and like it was more just like wishful thinking that it's like maybe it's Obi-Wan.
That would have been interesting.
And maybe there's something we don't know. Maybe that's like what this Obi-Wan series is going to be about. It's actually Obi-Wan actually is working with the rebellion to prop it up, but maybe something happens where he
flies too close to the sun.
It's kind of like Saw Gerrera.
Yeah.
Like he flies too close to the sun and then kind of becomes a hermit and then meets Luke.
Well, I wonder. Yeah, I mean, I wonder. It could be Obi-Wan. I just wonder, like, would he risk getting his location found out for the rebellion?
Yeah, I mean, he could also just not be there right now, like
in Tatooine.
It could be going around too.
He could be. Yeah.
Like,
I don't think he's staying on there. Yeah, he's definitely
could be
traveling.
on Jakku.
Yeah.
Making sure Palpatine doesn't find his granddaughter.
Yeah. She should have been Obi-Wan's granddaughter, but anyway,
daughter.
Been
nobody's anybody.
Nobody's anybody.
Yeah. Just
all
as
right.
the master.
Anyway, I can sense one.
All right.
This
conversation's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, thanks for listening in again. We'll see you next week for episode 7 of The Bad Batch. Again, follow us on Instagram if you're not already. Like, subscribe, comment on whatever platform you're listening to or watching this on. We appreciate you all. And good night and good luck.
Thanks.
All right, bye.
Thanks, Walter Cronkite.